Good morning all. Today we are going to discuss the failure patterns in rigid payment. The rigid payment failure is mainly classified into two. First one is due to the deficiency of the payment material. Second one due to the structural inadequacy of the payment material. So the deficiency of the payment material means using of soft aggregate. Second reason, poor quality of the subgrade soil. Third reason is the usage of poor quality of joint filler or sealer material. Coming to the second part, that is the structural inadequacy of the payment material. So reason for this type of failure is, first one, the payment thickness is not enough to support the external wheel load. Second one, the lack of subgrade support. Third one is the improper compaction of the subgrade soil. And the last reason is the improper spacing of the joint. So now we will see in detail the various type of failure in rigid payment. So first one is scaling. So scaling means the cement mortar peel off from the cement concrete pavement. This results in a rough surface due to the exposure of the coarse aggregate. And the main reason for this scaling is, first one is the segregation of the concrete mix. So segregation means separation of the ingredients of concrete. Second reason is the use of dirty or unclean aggregate. Third one is the usage of excess water in the mix. This can cause segregation. And the last reason is the chemical impurities in the mix. So here in the picture you can see the scaling of the cement concrete, that is surface get peeled off. Second type of failure is the shrinkage crack. So in the figure you can see the hairline cracks developed, which is mainly due to the setting and curing operation. So this type of crack developed both in the longitudinal and transverse direction. Third type of failure is spalling of joint. Spalling is the breakdown of the slab near the edge. So here you can see the spalling of concrete. So the main reason is ingression of the stone or grit into the gap of the expansion joint. Second reason is the usage of weaker concrete. Third one is the faulty alignment of the filler material used at the joints. And now this failure can be rectified by epoxy coating or partial depth repair can be done. So epoxy coating can be used as the filler material. Second rectification method is you can repair the concrete up to a partial depth. So next type of failure is wrapping crack. So when the joints are not designed properly against hot weather, it will prevent the expansion of the concrete slab. So this results in the development of the excessive stress. So this stress is the main reason for the wrapping crack of the concrete near the joint. So this can be prevented by providing proper reinforcement at the longitudinal and transverse joint. And the another remedial measure is the usage of hinge joint, which is used to relieve the stress due to wrapping. So next type of failure is the structural crack. So this develops mainly due to the inadequate thickness of the concrete slab. So if the thickness is not adequate, it will not withstand the load acting on the pavement. So this type of structural crack occur both in the longitudinal and transverse direction. And the last type of failure is the mud pumping. So mud pumping means the soil slurry come out through the joint or crack of the cement concrete pavement due to the excessive load acting on the surface. So due to mud pumping, the concrete slab has a tendency to shift down. So the main reason for mud pumping is a mound of free water under the slab. Second reason is the deflection of the concrete slab. Third reason, that is due to the nature of the subgrade soil. And fourth is due to the lack of support. So in the picture you can see the mud pumping, that is from the bottom the soil slurry comes out through the joints. So next we will see the failure pattern in flexible pavement. First one is the alligator cracking. So in the figure you can see lot of interconnected cracking which resemble the skin of an alligator. So the primary cause of this type of failure is due to the relative motion of the pavement material. Second reason is the repeated application of heavy wheel load. And third is due to the swelling and shrinkage of the subgrade or other layers due to the moisture variation. So the remedial measure adopted is rehabilitation of the damaged pavement. Or second remedial measure is the pavement layer is removed and reconstructed. Second type of failure is rutting or consolidation of the pavement layer. So rutting is the longitudinal deformation or depression along the wheel path of the vehicle. So in the picture you can see rut. So this is a rut in the longitudinal direction. So primary cause of this type of failure is the repeated application of the load along the same wheel path resulting in longitudinal rut. So this type of rut can be shallow, which is mainly due to the wearing of the surface screws along the wheel path. So if the rut is shallow, we have to clean the affected area, then apply the tap coat, then fill the rut with bituminous mix, and then you have to compact it. So if the rut is severe, total reconstruction of the pavement is required. So next is the shear failure. So shear failure may occur from the subgrade. It is due to the inherent weakness of the pavement mixture, and this type of shear failure causes upheavement of the pavement material by forming a fracture of cracking. So here in the picture you can see upheavement of the pavement. So primary cause of this type of failure is excessive wheel loading or low shear strength of the pavement material. So remedial measure adopted is reconstruction of the pavement if the subgrade is involved. That is, if the shear failure occur from the subgrade, you have to reconstruct the pavement. Then second remedial measure is you have to remove the subgrade soil. Third is milling and removing the bituminous surface course, recompact the surface, apply tack coat and surface coat. So next is the longitudinal cracking. So this is the crack along the longitudinal direction, and the primary cause of this type of failure is due to the frost action, differential volume change in the subgrade, settlement of the fill material, alternate wetting and drying, and temperature difference. So next is the transverse crack, that is crack along the transverse direction, which is due to the contraction and expansion of the pavement with changing temperature. Frost heaving, as the name indicates, it occurs mainly in the cold countries. There is localized heaving up of the pavement portion, which is mainly due to the groundwater. So picture you can see the upheavement caused due to the frost action. So this is a figure showing the upheavement due to the frost action. So next is the lack of binding with the lower layers. So this type of holes will develop. The lack of prime coat or tack coat in between the two layers is the primary reason for this type of failure. So we have to provide the prime coat or tack coat. Next is the reflection cracking. So this type of reflection cracking occur if we are constructing a bituminous layer over the existing cement concrete pavement. So here the failure occur mainly because the water penetrate and it will damage the subgrade soil and cause mud pumping. So this is a figure showing the reflection crack. So next is raveling. Raveling is the progressive deterioration of the surface, which occur mainly due to the binding, that is mainly due to bitumen binder failing to bind with the aggregate. So this aggregate of the surface gradually loosened from the surface due to the repeated load action. So main cause of this type of raveling is, first one is the construction during wet weather. So when water infiltrate into the surface, the proper coating will not happen. So this type of failure can occur. So improper coating of the aggregate, delayed rolling after bitumen mix, insufficient binding content, and overheating of the binder or the bituminous mix. So these are the various failure patterns in the flexible and rigid pavement. So this is a very important question. You have to study this topic very well. So thank you.